Ice Cube, starting July 10th on CBS, Thriller, and Fight TV. That's right, every Saturday. Bring the fire with the big three, baby. Yeah, yeah.
Can I ask you this? Because it's very, you brought up black men, and I wanted to ask you this. I'm very interested to know your take on black men, in particular in Hollywood and just in society as a whole, because we talk on here often on the podcast and we feel as though it's almost an emasculation of the strong heterosexual black man, not only in the household, on TV screen, and just in society in general. What's your thoughts on that?
The emasculation of the black man has been in existence since, the beginning of time. They have always tried to belittle our men in a way that makes them, unappealing to us. From slavery, when, how am I going to want to have sex with this guy that massa has abused and beat and sexually harassed in my face to make me look at this man as beneath. So I believe that it is not something that has just, started last week. I'm looking at the whole world, how it emasculates certain men. Men dressing like women is still popular in England and in a lot of the white, countries. So when we look at our men and the fact that they do it, and it's required, at some point in your career, it's just, to me, a testament of our society. I don't know if it's necessarily just about black men anymore. I think we take it personally because our men have been alienated from us, with either they're gay or they prefer white women or they're in jail. For whatever reasons, the black man has been alienated from us, and that keeps procreation at a minimum. I personally am not attracted to a man that dresses like a woman, but that's just me. A lot of women are. Right. I'm just saying that's me. But I think if Tyler Perry got rid of Madea, he'd be crazy, because that is my bitch. And I don't care if it's Tyler Perry. Madea is a lady to me. Honey, I love her. She is she. And she does it better than anybody else has done it.
That's a goddamn shame.
Sorry.
Did it shock you, though? With that being said, did it shock you, being as though you was on the Wayans Brothers, and then the first time you seen those brothers put on the dress, did that honestly shock you when you seen them dress as white chicks?
No.
Oh, it didn't shock you? Wow.
The Wayans, those are my babies. That's my family. I'm like, I teased them when I first got started in the industry. And I was on the Apollo Comedy Hour. And after that, they all loved me. But prior to that, Marlon, I went to college with. I was a senior. He went to Howard. He was a freshman. And of course, I was the older senior graduating, I was the shit. But I'm just saying, I'm just playing. I wasn't that much of a shit. I didn't win the Debbie Allen Award. But that's okay. She loved now. And congratulations to Debbie. She's getting a Kennedy Award. Kennedy honor. But yeah, so Marlon had love for me. So he told me, when I get out of college, and he decided not to stay the whole 4 years and get a degree. So, by the time I got a job on the Apollo Comedy Hour, everybody was scared to tease the Wayans. Because, what was their show? And Living Color was out. Yeah. And I was like, whatever, Marlon is my boy, I'll tease him. And after that, they just fell in love with me. And, they allowed me to fail. And that is huge. Like, I have, I keep talking when I freeze because you said you didn't hear me. But I get anxiety. I've had it ever since I was a child. My first all-black party, I'm sorry, I'm from Shaker Heights. I had a panic attack. I've never been around so many black people. My girlfriend, they were like, you fucking city bitch. One of my girlfriends was like, let the bitch sit in the fucking parking lot. And my other girlfriend, she was a little more loving. She was like, here, take this paper bag and blow into it. And it really helped. But I would get in these situations where there were a lot of black people. I'm sorry, I'd never been around black people. And I'd get anxiety attacks. So it led into whenever I wanted to be accepted by these people. And I don't make, and I'm trying not to say these people because you're my people, but I was raised in a situation where I wasn't, accepted by the people I was around. And I longed to find a more strengthening relationship to what was me. So I wanted to go, but I realized that every time I had a desire to do something, I wouldn't nut up. So, that to say, the Wayans, I would get into the room with the Wayans and I'd have worked out the audition. I know all the lines. I have all my stuff. And I get in there and be like, Ribbit. You know that frog? That's like, Ribbit. And Sean and Mom like, well, no. She cold. We trying to tell you she cold. And they be looking at me like, bitch, you better cut it out. And I'd be like, so I try to do it and try. But because also that they love me so much, it was hard. So the point being, Marlon and Sean trusted me despite. Now, when I get the job, I'm good, because I know you want me. I guess I'm a little like Sally Field. I'm like, you want me. But to have to prove my worth is daunting for me. And it does give me anxiety. So in my elder years, Sean and Marlon, they loved me through it. But other people have been like, look, you want to take care of that shit because I can't get you on the set if you nut up in front of the white folks. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a shot. I'll take like one shot to calm the nerves. And then I'll be like, oh my gosh, okay. But then somebody might see me and they'll think I'm in there like, But then, I try to take like Inderal. I don't know, should I not be talking about performance anxiety drugs? But my doctor suggested Inderal, which is a performance anxiety drugs that the people that symphony, professional,
violinist.
Violin, cello, all the whole fancy pants, orchestra people on the greater level take this. So now I've learned to take a half of a very low dose, and that helps up my audition. So yeah, I'm just telling y'all this because I've had a lot of people come up to me and say, I would have been an actor, but I'm scared. I would have been an actor, but my nerves. But you can get around that. When it's your mission and it's in your heart, don't let you stand in your way. I've learned through meditation to change my mind when I'm nervous. What am I nervous around these fools for? I know Tracy Morgan, that dummy couldn't act till he met me. Well, why would I nervous around him? So yeah, I must admit, you asked about the Wayans and them dressing like girls. No, it didn't surprise me because there's Sean and Marlon, and they slept in the same bed until they were, I don't know how old. And it's just like, they don't think like that. Like my husband's family in the South, like I remember when his uncle kissed him in the mouth. I was just like, okay, all right. They don't think like that. Like for them, it's about the comedy at their expense. I don't know if they would have done Hollywood's movie with, if Hollywood had brought them that script, but the fact that they wrote it, it's at their expense. It's, and not just figuratively, but literally, every penny that comes into their pockets from them dressing like women comes into their pockets. It's not like they played some role outside of their conglomerate. You know, they kept the money at home. And that's important because that way they get to write the narrative. They get to determine how they want to play girls. And they want to be white girls. And it's classic. You know, white people love it. There's not one white person that I know that hasn't, you know, referenced that film knowing that Sean, Marlon, and I are tight. So, yeah, you have to make your own choices. But I didn't see Sean and Marlon kissing no boys in that movie. I don't know. I don't see Tyler Perry kissing no boys in his movies. I don't know. So for me, kissing boys and you're a boy and you're not a gay boy, so it's not what you want to do versus putting on a dress and going in drag because maybe you just got a fantasy. I don't know. It's a personal choice, and I don't think people should be judged.
Appreciate that.